Was the Night Before Christmas by Darren Tamel. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the hipster house a party was bumping to indie rock and Modest Mouse. The tenants were noisy, quite rowdy, you see, for they were occupying a house in Brooklyn City. The neighborhood quaked, the music rattled the brain. The neighbors, they called the landlord to voice and complain. The young lord picked up the phone. "I'll be right over. I'll cast the first stone. After tonight, they'll leave you alone. This is my fiefdom. This is my land. They'll feel the pain of my pimp-strong backhand." So the lord pushed the gas pedals down to the floor and imagined bursting in the front door. He circled the block to snipe out a spot, like a vulture waiting for the flesh to rot. A spot opened, a perch was laid, and sitting in his car, a plan was made. The young lord, you see, was not a man of balance or couth. He spit venom at you and called it the truth. The city was bold, the people were vile, and being in this business, he picked it up after a while. So before you judge him, please hear his confession. You might just have another impression. "I inherited this property from the city, you see, and it was not mine until recently. Rent control, a relic like Rome, is still underselling the value of this home. Alas, if I can tear it down, I'll put a new apartment building in this side of town. I'll make homes for families of status and repute. If only I can give those scroungers the boot." The hipsters have a lease of 6 years, and trying to break it has driven my lawyer to tears. They filled the house with Greenpeace volunteers, Steel Reserve, and Blue Ribbon beers, people with holes in their lips and their ears, talking politics and expressing their fears. I want to build a new building with upright piers, lucrative bankers, and software engineers. The neighborhood will be flush with cheers when I dump them on the street like drunks on New Year's. Amidst their party, my operation will strike. Hours before Christmas, oh, the spite! I know what to do to evict them to the last. I'll sneak in their house and turn on the gas. Flee with no time to flush the stash. The landlord has come, and there's a party to crash. To get past the door, I'll need a disguise. For style, those hipsters have hawkish eyes. They'll alarm that something is wrong, for a man with cufflinks just doesn't belong. I'll roll up one pant leg, I'll take off one sock, I'll walk up to the door and give it a knock. My disguise will be perfect, no less, when I pin a red square right to my chest. I'll say I'm a student, a writer from Pratt. Oh, how those delinquents will argue with that. I'll talk about the phonies in my writing course, and no one will suspect that I'm the Trojan horse. I'll slink to the kitchen, past the beer pong. I'll even step to the music while I'm playing along. I'll slide myself to the oven and give the gas hose some pushin' and lovin'. In the room, the fragrant gas will spill, enough to cause nausea, but not to kill. Out the doors, the people will be diverted, for disaster, you know, must be averted. In the days that the house must fumigate, I'll claim that their rent is just too late. Their deposits will be mine. I'll make them poor. If they can't pay, they can't stay here no more. With a new apartment built, I'll be a real estate pioneer. I'll keep one vinyl record just as a souvenir. The Lord's plan went off with one hitch. He hadn't predicted that there'd be a snitch. With the plan in motion, unable to stop, he hadn't noticed the obvious undercover cop. As he pulled the gas hose, soon to spray, the room became a wild melee. The officer had thrown the Lord to the ground and pulled out his pistol in the wrong side of town. He shouted to the crowd to explain that he'd saved their lives, but the hipsters saw cops and guns and searched for their knives. Before the fuzz could show them reason, they shouted as one, "It's pig hunting season!" Out the window the 5-0 fled and ran like the wind for fear he'd be dead. The Lord was helped to his feet by a man with mustache. He was offered a blanket and a sniff of their hash. The man said, with his head held so high, that today they'd protected the rights of one guy. "This is our fiefdom, this is our land. When you are with us, we'll give you a hand." The Lord thought, "I had come here with conviction to do harm, but I've been won over by your charm. Seeing that you're a friend in strange socks, my heart has changed, and this party rocks. For you bring something new and tribal to the city, a family of misfits with an organic garden so pretty. I saw you in squalor, unemployed and redundant. Now I believe that your wealth is abundant. I cannot pretend that we'll see eye to eye, but I'm going to leave and bid you goodbye. You have 2 more years left on your lease. Until then, I'll leave you in peace. My name is David, and the Sharpie on your chest says Bruce. This isn't over, it's merely a truce. My soul is saved, I'm no longer cursed. The stain of New York has been reversed. In this self-serving city, you hipsters are the first to show me kindness and not expect to be reimbursed." And with that, the landlord went back to his car, drove home, and went to bed. Good night, and Merry Christmas.